time is 6:15. Here is the news edited by Dulmin Samrasingha, read by Victor Raj. Here are the headlines of the local news. Interprovincial travel restrictions extended. All measures are in place to open schools with less than 200 students. Vaccination program of children in the ages of 18 and 19 expanded. Police request school transport services to follow health guidelines. 2 amendment bills and a regulation will be presented in Parliament tomorrow. The first translated copy of Bhagavad Gita presented to the Indian Prime Minister. In your foreign news today, deadly bomb blast hit a military bus in Damascus, Syria. Sports news, Sri Lanka under-19 wins the one-day international series against Bangladesh. Local news in detail. The interprovincial travel restrictions now in force throughout the country will continue until 4 a.m. on Sunday, the 31st of October, following a directive by President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. This was announced by the head of the National Centre for Prevention of COVID-19 and Army Commander General Shamendra Silva. The Ministry of Education says that all measures are in place to open schools with less than 200 students tomorrow. Steps have been taken to create an environment for children to study in freedom. Cleaning and renovations to schools are taking place with the participation of parents. 3,000 schools are scheduled to be opened tomorrow. 350,000 teachers are expected to arrive at schools tomorrow. Education Minister Dinesh Gunawardena requested the teachers to resume teaching at schools. He said the President and the Prime Minister are taking maximum measures to solve teachers' and principals' salary issue. Meanwhile, Additional Secretary to the Ministry of Education L.M.D. Dharmasena has requested the parents not to send children to school if they are suffering from cough, influenza and fever. He said all schools which are scheduled to be opened tomorrow have been disinfected. Plans have been made to give COVID vaccines to school students island-wide from tomorrow. Vaccination of children in the ages of 18 and 19 commenced from Colombo District schools last week. The program is jointly implemented by the Ministries of Education, Health, Epidemiology Unit and the Family Health Bureau. Police say they will pay more attention from tomorrow on vans and three-wheelers which transport school students exceeding the capacity. Only 2 students can be transported in a three-wheeler. A van can transport students according to the number of seats. Police media spokesman SP Nihal Talduva said that school students should be transported following health guidelines. Police have requested the drivers to pay more attention to health protection of the students. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
World News.
Continuing with more local news, the Ministerial Consultative Committee on Justice held on Friday, chaired by Justice Minister Ali Sabri, agreed upon presenting 2 bills and regulations in Parliament on Thursday. Accordingly, the Youthful Offenders Training Schools Amendment Bill, Penal Code Amendment Bill and the regulations made by the Minister of Justice under Section 814 of the Civil Procedure Code are being scheduled to be passed in Parliament post-debate. The Youthful Offenders Training Schools Amendment Bill aims at amending the age limit previously established as below 18 to age between 18 and 22. The bill also amends for the purpose of being gender neutral. The amendment to the Penal Code established provisions to replace the verdict of health sentence being given to minors, replacing it with custodial sentences. The first copy of Bhagavad Gita translated in Sri Lanka to Sinhala, Tamil and English language are being handed over to Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The Sri Lankan delegation, led by Minister Namal Rajapaksa, handed over the book to Indian Prime Minister when they met him after landing at India's Kushinagar International Airport from the first international flight from Colombo. The minister has said that the best gift given to Sri Lanka by India is Buddhism. He has kept a note on his Facebook page stating that the vision of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi is to further strengthen relations between the nations and the people. Minister Namal Rajapaksa says that the government is prepared to restructure education methodology while protecting all aspects of free education. He mentioned this while attending a function to offer 30,000 scholarships given by East of Metro campus with the aim of enhancing information technology knowledge of school students. The ceremony was held at the Sports Ministry's auditorium. The minister pointed out that the need for the program to build the future of youth who complete their school education. He said it is a huge challenge to the Youth Affairs Ministry, but a methodology and a methodical program should be prepared for the purpose. The ambassador of France to Sri Lanka, Eric Levertou, paid a courtesy call on Foreign Minister Professor Gilles Peris at the Foreign Ministry. During the meeting, both sides welcomed the multifaceted cooperation and friendship existing between the two countries and underscored the necessity to further strengthen bilateral relations. The discussions focused on bilateral political relations, interparliamentary cooperation, expansion of bilateral trade, investment and tourism, education, as well as issues of natural interest in regional and multilateral fora. The resumption of direct flights between Colombo and Paris, which would lead to greater connectivity and further consolidate business and tourism ties, was welcomed. Sri Lanka Navy has seized over 17 kg of Kerala cannabis during a special operation conducted in Pesale, Mannar. The narcotic substances in 8 parcels were hidden in a close by shrubs by smugglers failing to take them away yesterday due to naval operations in the area. The street value of the seized stock of Kerala cannabis is believed to be over 5 million rupees. That ends local news.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Vedamahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The Ministry of Health says 360 more COVID-19 patients were discharged from medical care today as they have recovered from the virus infection. This brings the number of recoveries reported in the country to 493,674. Sri Lanka has recorded 532,766 cases of COVID-19 so far. 25,567 virus-infected patients are currently receiving treatment at hospitals, treatment centers, and at homes. Meanwhile, the death from coronavirus stands at 13,525.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
And now in Watch Light.
Traffic movement at Kohuvala Junction on Horana-Colombo Road will be limited temporarily from tomorrow, except for public transport buses. The decision was taken due to the construction work of the Kohubala flyover, and the motorists are requested to use alternative routes as much as possible. The Road Development Authority said this traffic restriction is expected to last until the 20th of December. That ends Watchlight. Moving on to world news, let's take a look at the headlines. Deadly bomb blast hit a military bus in Damascus, Syria. A report says Brazil's president should be charged with crimes against humanity. IMF warns Afghanistan's economic slump will impact neighbors. World news in detail. Syrian state media say a bomb attack on the military bus in central Damascus killed 14 people. 2 explosive devices attached to the vehicle blew up as it passed through Jisr al-Rais bridge during the morning rush hours. Although Syria has been embroiled in civil war for decades, such attacks in the capital are increasingly rare. Soon afterwards, army shellfire also reportedly killed at least 10 people in the opposition-held northwest. A draft of a major inquiry report says Brazil's president should be accused of a series of crimes over his handling of the country's COVID-19 pandemic. The report is the culmination of the 6-month inquiry that has revealed scandals and corruptions in the government. President Bolsonaro has been accused of failing to control the virus that has killed more than 600,000 Brazilians. The International Monetary Fund has said Afghanistan's economic woes could fuel a refugee crisis impacting neighboring countries, Turkey and Europe. The fund warned the economy will contract by the 30% this year, which could push millions into poverty and cause a humanitarian crisis. The IMF said Afghanistan's neighbors would be further hit because they rely on its funds for trade. To wrap up the world news, let's take a look at the headlines once again. Deadly bomb blast hit military bus in Damascus, Syria. A report says Brazil's president should be charged with crimes against humanity. IMF warns Afghanistan's economic slump will impact neighbors. That ends world news.
And now in development news.
Mathura Eriyathota Samagimawatha will be developed at a cost of 50 million rupees. 2 kilometers of the road will be developed by laying asphalt. Plans have been made to complete development activities in 5 months. The development program is implemented under the National Program to Develop Rural Roads. That ends development news.
Sports news.
Cricket news. Sri Lanka Under-19 won the One-Day International Series against Bangladesh Under-19 today at the Dambulla International Stadium. Bangladesh scored 184 in 50 overs. In reply, Sri Lanka scored 188 for 7 wickets in 46.4 overs. Sri Lanka won the match by 3 wickets. Accordingly, Sri Lanka now leads the series 5-0. Siobhan Daniel was not out on 85. Meanwhile, Sri Lanka will play against Ireland in the 8th match of qualifying round of the T20 World Cup today in Abu Dhabi. The match will begin at 7:30 p.m. local time. Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation gives live commentaries of the match. Australia fast bowler James Pattinson has retired from international cricket after deciding he is not ready to push for Ashes selection. The 31-year-old took 81 wickets in 21 tests but had his appearances limited by a series of injuries. Football news. Manager Steve Bruce has left Newcastle United by mutual consent just 13 days after the Saudi Arabia-backed £305 million takeover of the club was completed. The 60-year-old took charge of his 1000th match as a manager in Sydney's 3-2 defeat by the Tottenham was his only game as Magpies boss under the new owners. That ends the sports news.
Cash through NSB globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to September 30th, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency through NSB U Trust for 6 months consecutively. Send more money and increase the chances of winning.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Two vessels manufacturing by the Colombo dockyard will be handed over to Iraq. The company has earned $350 million through the transaction. JICA has provided financial assistance to the project. The two vessels are scheduled to be handed over to Iraq tomorrow. That ends Business News.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Cash through NSB globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners.
Economic news, courtesy of...
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
Foreign reserves in the country have increased in August. Exports have exceeded $1 billion. However, the trade deficit has expanded due to the increased expenditure on imports. Tourist arrivals in August have also increased when compared with the previous month. That ends Economic News.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
Weather Report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, brings Nanasa app, a trilingual educational mobile app for online learning with video-based lessons from grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with the Nanasa app. No subscription fees. Download via Google Play Store, App Store, Huawei Store or Windows. Dialogue, the future today.
The Met Department says showers or thundershowers will occur over most parts of the island. Heavy showers above 100 mm can be expected at some places in central, Sabaragama, north central and northwestern provinces. Showers or thundershowers are likely in western and southern coastal areas. That ends Weather Report.
Weather Report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, brings Nanasa app, a trilingual educational mobile app for online learning with video-based lessons from grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with the Nanasa app. No subscription fees. Download via Google Play Store, App Store, Huawei Store or Windows. Dialogue, the future today.
To wrap up the evening news on Radio Sri Lanka, let's take a look at the headlines once again. Interprovincial travel restrictions extended. All measures are in place to open schools with less than 200 students. Vaccination program of children in the age of 18 and 19 expanded. Police requests school transport services to follow health guidelines. 2 amendment bills and a regulation will be presented in Parliament tomorrow. The first translated copy of Bhagavad Gita presented to the India Prime Minister. Foreign news. Deadly bomb blast hit military bus in Damascus, Syria. Sports news. Sri Lanka under-19 wins the one-day international series against Bangladesh. With that, we wrap up the evening news on Radio Sri Lanka.